and prepare the audio recording. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. Talk to Wendy. She's good. Everything's good. Everything's planned. It's all planned out.
Good.
Yeah, just a big old planned out day. So get ready, everyone. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Eileen Devine, and I run that train.
That's awesome.
No way!
That's awesome.
I run that train. That's cool. Trains are big, bigger than a lot of kids think they are, and trains don't stop that easy.
Whose horse is that?
The morning stream. This car smells weird.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is the morning stream for December 3rd, 2020. It is Thursday, last I checked, and I'm Scott Johnson, and he's Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
It is Thursday. You're absolutely right. There is no disputing it.
Yep.
Thursday.
I stand by it. I stand by it. No recounts, no double checks, no court, anything.
No
it's
claiming. We don't need to claim.
Nope. Can't claim it's Thursday. It just is Thursday.
Say, regardless of what day it really is, we're going to claim that today is Thursday.
I'm not just saying it's Thursday. It's literally Thursday.
It's literally.
And I don't even like using the word literally too often. You know, you got to use it sparingly because literal it's a powerful word. It means something when you say it. So when I say it's Thursday, I freaking mean it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I hate the overuse of literal. Not the overuse. I hate the misuse of literal.
Yeah. Why does that happen so much, do you think?
Because people really want to add emphasis to specific things that they say, and they think the word literal is like underlining or bold-facing a word when they're speaking.
Yeah. Why do they? Why? What's wrong with everyone? Stop it.
Yeah, I don't know, because they people and their misuse of the words.
Yeah, quit it. English is easy.
My video choppy? The TV's Travis says my video's choppy.
Yeah, you're a little on the internet's low and being weird sound.
I had an issue with Dropbox, and so I'm just gonna quit Dropbox. I wish I knew how to quit Dropbox.
Yeah.
And I will fire it back up afterwards. I had to reinstall it last night, which means, you've uninstalled and reinstalled Dropbox. I guess what we need to do is re-upload everything you've ever uploaded to Dropbox.
Oh.
Even though it's already up here and you already have it on your local.
I hate when they do that.
Oh, it drives
That's busted.
So
man.
I should be a lot better now, right? Yes.
So far, yeah. Your video stopped being hitchy and your voice.
Like if I move
better.
my head slowly back and forth like this, there's no chop.
Still a little chop, but not terrible.
Okay.
But your voice is, maybe your voice say some things.
Here's me talking. I'm talking now. This is me saying words out of my mouth hole.
No, it's still, you're still a little rotten on that.
Still a little
side.
choppy. All right, it's
why.
Probably figuring its business out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We'll let it take its time. And if it gets terrible, we'll pause and we'll deal with it. It's fine.
Exactly.
We've had worse problems.
No, I have not yet installed my Nighthawk router because I attempted to and realized that my PPOE password must have changed because it was not allowing me to connect to the internet. So I had to go back to my old router, which has that stuff built in, or not built in, but entered in.
Yeah.
And I need to call the DSL company and say, hey, what's my password? Can you reset it?
Yeah. That's not a thing they just give you easy access for when you're talking with CenturyLink. They're kind of a pain that way.
Right. They are a big pain in the butt. Sorry, PPPoE.
PPPoE.
I left out a P.
Yeah. Never left out and get all your P's and put them together. And what do you got?
It's not Po. It's not Peepo. It's PPPo.
PPPo. I like that a lot. All right, I'm going to. So there was a lot of very nice comments and concern yesterday after an announcement I made on Twitter that my mom had gotten a diagnosis for something, and it's actually really it's good news compared to what it could have been. Keep this in mind. My mom is 82 years old. She is up there, up in the golden years. She's way up there, and that's the only thing that makes this a little precarious because at her age is any sort of surgery is a little bit more risky than it would be for say you or me. But they found So it's really weird. She's basically, this is going to be an odd thing to describe, but she's basically over the last 6 months, and we just thought it was just COVID malaise, like sort of just like, oh, everyone, we hate it, it's a little depressing or whatever. But she would do things like stare out the window for hours and look at a tree and not stop looking at that tree, and she would see things in the tree, like cool patterns and stuff. Or she would be like, she was explaining the other day, she was looking at this pair of pajamas that had a whole bunch of penguins on it, and they all have different hats and different stuff on, and it's hanging over this thing, and she stared at it for 45 minutes. And John was like, what are you looking at? And she's like, I think I want to know who this artist is, and I'm super interested in all these little faces, and like she has this weird new kind of strange focus, and we didn't know what it was, but she's becoming me, basically. Like she, and she even said it. She goes, I think I'm starting to understand why I thought you were so weird when you were younger, because I would do this. I'd stare off into space forever. I'd see weird patterns and things. I could be happy in a room with just a weird wallpaper that I could then look at, and I'd have my own stories happening on these wallpapers and things. And
sure.
So I was kind of a weird, goofy kid, and she even told me last night, she goes, I think I finally get it. And I said, well, Mom, I sure hate for this reason to be the reason that you finally get it, but sure, that's fine. But basically, this is what's happened in the last 6 months. She's been kind of behaving strangely. A lot of us were worried about like maybe dementia, or we didn't know. We don't know what the early signs are, or sometimes those can be nebulous. Finally got her with a proper neurologist, and they did a bunch of testing, and he had a notion. He's like, I want to do a CT scan. I just want to see what's up. So they do a CT scan, and they scan her entirely, including her brain, and they found a tumor the size of a tangerine or so. It's pretty big.
Oh, wow. That's really big. Yeah,
it's pretty big. It's on the inside of her skull, but not in her brain, and it's not cancerous. It's a non-cancer ball that's up front and has been growing, they estimate, for 12 years.
Holy cow.
So slow.
So she's been having headaches and stuff too?
No,
from
none
like
of that.
pressure
None of that stuff.
Wow.
No tremors, no headaches.
Okay.
And he says the reason for that is if it was over here, somewhere else in the skull, you would have probably had all kinds of issues. But up front, what it does is it presses against your frontal lobe, and that pressure is causing this weird dip into just her getting kind of trippy and weird, like just
is an interesting. God, the brain is such a weird thing, right? I mean,
really
it's like
so
you press on this area, and all of a sudden, your everything smells like oranges.
Right, it is weird. And as they were explaining it to me, I was just like, oh man, I forgot that all it takes is a little bit of pressure in one place, and then things start to change. So she doesn't even know what's happening, and she, like, the doctor's like, look, what I'm telling you right now, you would just deny probably, and it's okay because you don't notice it, because that's the nature of this. Your brain is being smushed, and it's not self-aware of why of these behavior changes, but everyone around you can see it. So they had this whole conversation, and it was kind of this like, oh, okay, finally we know what the frick is going on. And again, it hasn't been like really bad. It's messed with her sleep schedule, and it's done some other stuff, but for the most part, it's made her kind of a hippie, like just kind of a trippy dippy hippie lady.
Right.
And it's real weird. Anyway, so it is operable. Normally they could just do it right away. They have to wait till the end of January because of COVID overflow at all the hospitals, including the cancer centers and that sort of stuff. And so it's not cancer, but similar extraction of a tumor, so probably going to kill the same people.
They initially the same way with the it wouldn't be a lumpectomy, it would be a tumor.
What do you call that?
I'm sure I know there's a word for it,
right.
But she wouldn't have to go through chemo, radiation, or anything like that because it's not cancerous.
Right. And there was a time in her life, had this been when she was like 30 or 40, what they would do is they would take it out with surgery and then also use a form of radiation, nothing so harsh as what you would get for a cancerous tumor, but a kind of radiation that would attack the tumor directly and then stop it from new growth. But what they're saying is, come January 20 whatever, they'll go in there, take it out, and then they'll only get like 85% of it, and the rest they'll leave because it would take another 12 to 15 years to grow at any rate. And she's 82, and we're kind of, we're at that stage of her life where doing more than that could put her at risk by getting too close to the brain and that sort of stuff.
Sure.
So so all of that is better news than it could have been. Could have been way worse. This could have been like one of those in the brain, horrible cancer tumors. Could have been a million other things. It could have been real bad. The only downside of it's all a downside, but the only real bummer is that at her age, this is a very risky surgery. So that's still a thing that sort of hangs over this. Plus, she's made to wait all this time because it pisses me off. But the hospitals are just freaking overrun right now. There is nothing but COVID wall to wall, and nobody can get anything done.
Halloween parties, because of post-election celebration parties.
We don't even know how much of this, how much Thanksgiving will ding us.
Yeah, I know.
But as a result, she has to kind of sit it out. So anyway, that's what's going on, and she'll be all right. I think she'll be fine. And it's so slow growing that it's not like between now and January anything will change. It's just.
Sure.
It's just
sitting
there.
It's not going to go from a tangerine to a grapefruit or something.
No.
But space, you've got this thing in your head that's taking up all this space and pushing things around. If it were me, like when they're in there and they're taking that out, I'm like, so now that I've got some room in there, could you install some extra memory? Could you put in some more RAM?
Yeah, if you're in there already. But what if you're out of expansion slots, or you're like an old
space? Well, it just made its own new expansion slot. Like it just pushed the other expansion slots to the side and created new space for a new expansion slot.
I see. Okay. Well, maybe you're like you're like a 2007 iMac. You got no expansion. Like it's just
right. Well, yeah. There's that.
Yeah, that video card is staying. You're not getting any better.
It's welded in. You're not removing that thing.
Well, anyway, so thanks for all the nice concerns and stuff on Twitter and all that, and we'll see what happens.
Dice Tomato sent us an article about Phineas Gage, so I will copy it and put it into our Discord so we can look at it later.
What is Phineas Gage?
I don't know. He's neuroscience's most famous patient.
Oh.
He's an accident with a tamping iron made Phineas Gage history's most famous brain injury survivor.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
so,
I'll check it out.
I'll put in our Discord here so that you can check it out afterwards.
All right, cool. My the only other bummer here is that we have a relative. I'm not going to say who, but we have a relative who thinks that he's got some multi-level marketing snake oil that will shrink the tumor and require no surgery.
Oh no!
So the very first thing out of this person's mouth was, you take these and that's all it'll take. I promise you. They know about this at Johns Hopkins, but nobody will report it because the medical industry doesn't want you to know. That it'll cost them billions a year if they just knew how these pills went. I'm like, dude, I'm going to jump through this phone and tear one of your testicles off and chew it real hard and put it back. Like, what are you doing to me? What are you doing?
Right, exactly. Yes.
Me and Wendy are pissed about that. But anyway, as a result.
Okay, thank you, but no. But thank you, but no. Thank you.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It won't surprise you that this person is also very conspiratorial, generally speaking.
I was going to ask you if they were a COVID hoaxer.
No, but a lot of sort of like, well, I know the virus is real, but the reporting and like all, there's always a little something around the edges, or they're always like, well, I'm pretty sure freaking Lyndon B. Johnson had Kennedy killed because just this kind of stuff. Now, here's the thing. I love this person. I really, truly do. Like, I love them. They're great. They're family. And when we're not talking about any of that stuff, freaking thumbs way up. But when this stuff comes up, I'm just like, get me out of this room or I'm going to pop. I can't do it. Anyway. Don't
Dang
do
it, Carter.
Sorry, Carter. Oh, shoot. I've said too much. No.
Oh, no. Oh, I said it.
It's just so stupid. Anyway, moving on. Let's get it's that time of the month.
Sort of. It's that time of last month in this month.
Yeah, that's right. And that means it's time for us to do a little trivial things action. You know it. You love it. It's time for Brian and I to be tested, our mettle to be tested in the areas that we either know little or nothing about. Hopefully, we know something today. We'll find out shortly.
I think we do. I secretly know what our topic is.
Oh, you
today,
do?
But I
Okay,
haven't
very
done
nice.
any. Well, only she told me this morning that it's not like I studied or anything. So.
Well, fair enough. Here's our theme.
Trivial things.
It's time for Gidget Von LaRue, all the way from Australia. Gidget, hello. Not there. Not answering.
Nope.
Oh, there she is. Hi.
Oh, there she is.
How are you?
Hello.
Can you hear us?
I got to mute you guys. Hang on, wait. Right, there
Do
we
you
go.
hear us now?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, good.
We didn't have to call in the Colonel. The Colonel can rest at 3 a.m.
He's out there.
Oh, is he? All right. What are you guys
Yeah.
doing at 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is? It's too early for you guys. What are you doing?
Well, I stay up all night anyway, but he's already been to bed, so he wakes up to sort this all out for me, and then he goes back to bed.
You owe him a huge favor or something. I don't want to.
Yeah,
What time do you normally
big old
get up?
blowy. Huh?
Like, so in the next day after staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning on a regular
Mm-hmm.
schedule, what time do you usually get up the next day? What's your usual?
Yeah.
Sometimes 12:30 lunchtime, and sometimes like today I slept till 3
Man.
in the afternoon.
Okay, yeah, that's a.
So
That's
I'm like a
nutty-
shift worker just without a job.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
If I
Well, so
wasn't.
lately I've found
Oh, go ahead.
I
Brian.
found that I know I get 6 hours of sleep, and I'm for whatever reason I'm fine. If I go to bed at 10:30 or 11 o'clock, I'm up at 5 in the morning regardless. So I figured out, well, I'll just stay up until midnight, go to bed, and I get up at 6, and I'm totally fine. And I feel like I'm cheating, or I'm going to be paying for this somehow. But so far, it's like, yeah, I wake up at 6 without any sort of grogginess. I don't fall asleep during the day. Do I just need 6 hours exactly of sleep, and that's it?
Maybe.
I don't
Maybe you
know.
found
You
your.
know what? I think everyone's different. I mean, I used to date a guy that had 2 hours sleep.
Mm.
That was it. That's all he needed. I need
Hmm.
I need 9 to 10 hours of
Tina's
sleep.
like that too. She needs, she needs a good amount of time.
So maybe your Euclidean, what's it called? Ukrainian clock or rhythm, whatever it is. What's it called?
circadian rhythms.
Circadian
Yes,
rhythm.
Yes.
that's it. Yes,
So it's not It's not Ukrainian then. I got that
I
wrong.
know
Oh,
that it's not
Colonel,
Ukrainian.
Colonel's coming in. Hang on. Alert.
Okay.
Oh.
Hang on.
Oh, incoming Colonel.
Colonel,
Message
the
from
Colonel.
Colonel.
No.
Choppers.
Oh
No. All right.
no! You just
Tell the Colonel that everything's fine here in the camp. We don't
We're all
need
good.
any.
We're all
Yeah,
good.
my new sleep schedules really improved my Torghast game. I'll
Yeah,
say
of
that.
course, I'll
It's
betcha.
really
I'll betcha. Knocking that thing out
It's
on the
really-
daily now with Brian. Up in the
helping
night.
things out there. Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
it's good to have you here, and we're going to play a
Thank
game.
you.
I don't know what the topic is, so you'll have to tell me, but this is where we play a little trivia between me and Brian. We alternate questions, and at the end, we'll see who wins. Take it away, Gidget. What are we doing?
All right. Well, first of all, out of the gate, and I don't know whether you boys have heard this or not because you've been asleep for a short amount of time. But Hugh Keansburn, who was toe cutter
Yeah.
in Mad Max in 1979 and Immortal Joe in 2015, passed away today.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, you
we
hadn't
just
heard,
saw.
Brian?
We just watched him in. I hadn't heard this. No, so we just watched him in the original Mad Max. And,
Yeah. Yep. Toe
I
cutter.
guess he was in. There was another Mad Max movie that he was in.
Yeah,
Didn't
do you
realize there were more than 3
Yeah, do you
Mad
want me
Max
to- I
movies.
can
So
tell
there
you
was a
about
movie
it.
After.
Yeah. Do you want to know
Thunderdome?
details? I could tell you all about it. I could tell you about the the one you don't know about.
Yeah, you boys need to go for a drink to the pub and talk about Mad Max. But yeah, I mean, a lot of Americans didn't know the original Mad Max from 1979. You guys were all kind of introduced to it with Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
But and then you guys went and dubbed over it. Blech.
Yeah.
But he was great as toe cutter. Candellini wants his hand back.
Yeah, he's super
so,
he's
yeah,
super
but
creepy in
sadly,
that.
yeah,
we just
so-
did it for Film Sack, and it was his performance was actually the best thing in the movie. Like everybody
Right.
else kind of
Yeah.
sucked, but
Yeah.
he was great. And the version that's on Netflix or Prime or wherever we watched it is back to the original cut, so there's no dub. So that was
Thank God.
interesting because the only other version I'd ever seen was the dubbed one. So it was like seeing it new again. But yeah, and Morton Joe, man, shiny and chrome on the road to Valhalla. It sucks. 73 years old though, nice long life. Apparently, a super nice
For
guy.
a man.
Yeah,
For a man, yeah.
yeah. For
With
a
us
man.
women, we sort of go down a bit, you know, and then we sort of hang in there right at the end.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, just remember, don't get hooked on water, everybody. You'll crave it and become addicted to it, and it'll run your life. That's the advice he gave us in Fury Road. Okay. Well, let's get to it then. In that rest in peace moment, let's now move to trivia. What do we got?
Let's now have some fun with trivia. I'm moving. I'm hiding the chat room now. Goodbye, chat room.
Oh yeah, bye,
a little
chat.
bit.
You're out of here.
Bye, chat room, and hello, listeners as well. Because I had somebody. I went to shopping about 3 weeks ago down about an hour from us in Penrith, a place called Penrith, and we were at the seafood market, and a girl came up to me with her husband, and she said, "Oh my God, are you Gidget von LaRue from the morning stream?"
Oh wow.
No way.
I couldn't. I thought my partner was playing a joke on me and had like gone to this woman and said, "Oh, go up and say that."
Right.
And she's like,
right.
"Oh no, I love the morning stream. So you say hello to your listener in Penrith." I didn't get her name, but she loves you guys. She listens to you every morning when she drives to work, and she watches your videos as well. So say hi, Penrith lady.
All right, we're going to say hello
listener from Penrith.
Penelope is what we'll call her. We don't know what to call her.
Penrith Penelope. Yeah.
What's a common
Until
Australian?
she gives us another name. She's Penrith Penelope.
Yeah, what's a common female name in Australia? Sheila. All right, Sheila. We're calling her Sheila.
Bruce and Sheila
we've got a lot of bogan names. Sharon. That's
Sharon.
Kylie.
Really, Sharon?
Yeah.
Oh, Kylie's.
Sharon,
Yeah, of course.
Kyle's.
Yeah.
You know, Shaz. Anything that you can shorten
Yeah.
is a proper bogan name.
Y'all like the shortenings over there. I've noticed that. That's good though. Barbie and all.
Yeah.
Prezzies. It's time to open some Prezzies.
Yeah.
Prezzies.
Prezzies. The dumb thing about Prezzies is the same number of syllables as presents. Right? So you say, I want
right,
presents.
you're not saving anything, but you're just Aussieizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get Aussie because like Aussie's 2, whereas Australia is 3. I get it. You made a savings there, right? But Prezzies and presents.
I mean, even worldwide, no one calls us Australians anymore. They call us Aussies. So
yeah.
Everyone's taken to it.
4, by the way. We can do.
Yeah.
Shortened Australian. It's 4 syllables.
There, yeah, that's good. Oh, Australia. Oh.
Australia, mate.
There you
Australia.
Go. Australia. There you go.
Brian's going a bit sort of techno at the moment.
Yeah, he's been on a little off.
One more time.
He's been a little left today. We don't know what's up with his internet, but it's not like it cut you out completely, but you just are a little fuzzball.
Sorry.
Comes and goes.
It's all right. It's kind of groovy.
It's groovy.
Yeah, just start singing a song from the 90s.
If it collapses entirely, well, that's a whole other issue. But right now, it's good enough, so we're okay. Not too worried about it. All right, Gidget.
Good.
Throw us our first. Oh, what's our topic? I don't even know. What are we doing?
Okay, seeing that it was my birthday on the 20th of November, which is when I wrote this quiz.
Yeah. Did you want a birthday song? I have one right here. Did you want to hear that?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Hold on a second. I'm sure Brian won't know what I'm about to play. It's
I have no idea what he's about to play, huh? Yeah. I don't know what it could be.
Here you go.
Happy birthday to you.
There you go. Happy birthday from that weird
Oh shit, I just spilt wine all over my questions.
That's awesome.
This is going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Trivial things, spill the wine.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right.
Happy 50th.
Oh, that's your fault, Scott.
Is it red or white?
Yeah, red wine, white wine.
White wine.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Good. You'll still be able to read. You'll still be able to read the questions.
Yeah.
They weren't on your
It's
iPad or something.
smudge.
Okay. Well,
It'll
just smell like a booze house. It's fine. Don't worry.
It'll smell like me.
Yeah.
at midday.
Sharask us some questions. Why don't you?
Yeah. Oh,
because we don't have.
I will.
All
if I can read them.
Yeah. I like what you did there.
Yeah. And I turned 50, so I'm in your group now.
Well done. It's
Thank
okay
you.
here. It's all right. It's a little we're a little tired on this side, but it's okay. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Well, if I break a hip, you'll understand why. Okay. All right, so I've put Scott first.
Okay.
All right, through the smudge. All right, what object?
Wait, what's the topic? What's our thing? What's our?
Oh, it's 80s teen movies.
Oh, 80s teen
so
movies.
it's what?
Movies.
Yeah, it's what I grew up with, and it's what you guys would have grown up with.
Yeah. I was a teen in the 80s, so this is great. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yep. Okay. Number 1, Scott. What object does Lloyd Dobler, John Cusack, lift above his head in the famous scene from Say Anything? Is it A, a Walkman, B, a microphone, C, a speaker, or D, a boombox?
That would be D, a boombox.
Correct.
Yes.
That's right.
And what was we all know that the original or the song that was playing on there is "In Your Eyes" by Peter Gabriel. Hopefully, that's not a follow-up question, but originally it was a song by Fishbone, a not very sweet, slow, romantic ballad, but it was a Fishbone ska song that he was.
So when he actually heard it in the first cut, you're saying that's what we would have had?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
That's what we would have had, yeah. And that song has become so intertwined with that movie that it's hard to imagine another song being played.
I can't imagine anything but that. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
No, I know it's like iconic, but yeah, sometimes it's a bit like the whole Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Harrison Ford got it, but it was offered to Tom Selleck first, and everyone's like, I can't see Tom Selleck in it, but I could.
Yeah, I think he could have done it. He could have done it. If he'd have kept the mustache. I don't know. I don't know how that would have gone, but he would have been okay. I'm glad it was Harrison Ford.
We need to watch Quigley Down Under or Alan Quartermain or something like that and see.
You do.
Yeah, Quigley Down Under is great.
And he still looks better now than Harrison Ford does. So
dude, he looks better than anyone. Everybody his age looks worse than he does. It's something about Tom Selleck's genes, man. He looks great, unless he shaves that mustache and then he looks like a scone. And nobody wants that.
Nope.
He's a Mo guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a Mo guy for sure. All right, Brian.
Mo guy.
Mo guy.
Don't get him wet. Don't feed him after midnight. Yes, go ahead,
I've got this wet. This is soaking in Chardonnay. Okay, Brian. Number 2 in Pretty in Pink. Andy Walsh, Molly Ringwald, works part-time at A, a hairdresser's, B, a record store, C, a supermarket, or D, a strip club.
Okay.
I'm sure it's
now this is where it's like where I have to really separate the scenes, because her friend runs the record store. Annie Potts has the record store. Where does Andy work? I know it's not a strip club. I know it's not a grocery store. Where is she helping out? My first thought was hairdressers, but is she actually working? Is she actually helping in the record store?
I did say part-time because she's still going to school.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to say that she is helping out her friend Annie Potts in the record store.
That is correct.
Oh, well done.
Tracks.
Okay.
Good tracks.
All
Yeah,
right.
Brian
Well
gets a
done.
big ticky
And the Brian method is good, where you think it out and suss it out.
Gotta talk it through. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
And it helps if you've seen it. That always helps.
Definitely helps. That's kind of a key.
That's kind of a plus. Yeah. All right, Scott. Who plays Theodore Teddy Duchamp in the coming-of-age film Stand By Me? A, Will Wheaton, B, Corey Feldman, C, River Phoenix, or D, Kiefer Sutherland?
And the name of the character again?
Theodore Teddy Duchamp.
Teddy.
Wow. Because she gave you 4 people who were in that movie.
Yeah. Give me those. Give me those 4 names one more time.
Okay. So Theodore Teddy Duchamp, Will Wheaton, Corey Feldman, River Phoenix, or Kiefer Sutherland.
Okay. Because in my head, Teddy's the little fat kid played by what's his name, Chris O'Connell. But I don't think that's him. Right. So I'm going to say Corey Feldman.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
Yeah,
Will Wheaton played Gordy. River Phoenix played Chris, and Kiefer Sutherland was the bully Ace.
Right, Ace. I remembered. I couldn't remember if Teddy was the little chubby kid or not. But since you didn't include him, that made it easier.
No, that was Jerry, and he's turned out
Jerry
to be
O'Connell,
not right, isn't he?
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, right. Not Chris O'Connell's his brother. But which was it, Jerry or Chris, that were in Sliders? Because one of the brothers was in that, and I never know which one it is because they're twins.
Oh anyway. Yeah, right.
I don't know. I just know that
Jerry's
Jerry
the one
went
that's
on
with
to be doing Rebecca Romanoff.
Exactly.
Yeah. Go Jerry.
She
it's
likes
your birthday.
Exactly.
He makes her wear blue.
Exactly.
He makes her wear blue paint. Anyway. Okay. Next
Okay,
one.
Brian.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. I'm sorry. You seem to be getting all the chick flicks. In 16 Candles, what type of car does Jake lend to Ted to take Caroline home? Is it a Bentley, a Mercedes convertible, a Ferrari, or a Rolls Royce?
it's definitely a convertible, so I'm going to say it's a Mercedes convertible.
That's what Colonel went with too, and no, that was me being tricky. No, it's not right. It's not right. It's a Rolls Royce, but it's a Rolls Royce convertible.
Oh,
gotcha. Oh, and we're not giving Scott the steal.
Oh, we didn't give me the steal. Okay. This
sorry.
That's all right.
Oh, I wouldn't have got it.
I see how it works.
I totally wouldn't have got
I'm
it.
50. I'm not remembering things anymore.
That's totally okay. Dang it. Yeah, all I remember was that it was a convertible. I remember it was a very expensive car, and that's all that I remember.
Yeah, that's all I remember either.
Yeah.
That was a hard one.
Yeah, well, Colonel only saw that movie this year.
Oh, geez.
He'd never seen it before. Yeah.
Wow.
He'd never seen it before.
Weird.
You teen boys, you just went to boy films.
Sure.
But that's actually a very funny movie. Okay, Scott. All right, I'll remember the steal. I'll remember it.
All right.
Right. Okay, so in the dark teen comedy Heathers, Christian Slater playing JD was inspired by what famous actor? Was it Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Jack Nicholson, or Marlon Brando?
I'll just say Jack Nicholson because he was always like him. So Jack Nicholson.
Correct.
So
yes.
It sounded like greetings and salutations.
Salutations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That would make sense to me. All right. Quick and easy.
Okay,
one.
Brian.
Yeah.
Number 6. The second time Wyatt and Gary tried to create a woman for Ian and Max in the film Weird Science, what do they create instead? Is it a
Ted
tank?
A Ted Cruz.
A ballistic missile, a submachine gun, or a jet fighter aircraft?
It is a ballistic missile that ends up like right in the middle of the house.
It does, right through the middle there.
Nicely done.
Yep.
Nicely done. I'd kind of forgotten, so that was a good one for you.
All right, hang on. Talk between yourselves.
All right.
Oh, okay. That's a little wine. Keep it. Do you need a sippy cup for that?
Yeah, because last time you
I
spilled
probably
it.
need a bib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time you spilled it, you need an absorbent bib.
You made me laugh.
I know. That's what we do.
Evil person.
That's our job here.
It's that darn happy birthday to you.
Yeah, don't play that again. Don't just. What is that from anyway?
It's some
TikTok.
weird dude I follow on TikTok that does nothing but sing and thinks he has an amazing voice, and he does like covers of everything, and they're all bad. Everything's bad, off key, just.
Oh my god!
horrendous.
See, I'm not on TikTok, but I do like the guy that does famous movie themes with a recorder really badly.
Oh
That's
yeah, those
one of
are
my
good.
favorite.
Those
Yeah.
are good. Yeah, that guy's great.
Jurassic Park,
meme from years
Titanic.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's great. I love
like
all
that
that
stuff.
sort of stuff. Okay, Scott.
Yeah.
In number 7, in which film does Tom Cruise dance to Bob Seger singing Old Time Rock and Roll? A, Top Gun, B, The Outsiders, C, Cocktail, or D, Risky Business?
It's a risky business would be the answer.
Of course.
It is.
All right. Yep. He comes out there in his undies and takes the old records off the shelf, and then has some gnarly sex scenes with not
Rebecca
Christina.
De Mornay.
No, Rebecca De Mornay. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yes, it's absolutely.
It is.
Definitely Rebecca.
She's the one that rocked the cradle.
Have you ever done it on a train?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the hand that rocked the cradle.
Okay, she's
Yeah.
the one that where Q. Well, I won't say what he did, but he did a terrible thing to her in that movie, The Hand That Rocks the
Oh,
Cradle.
he did. Yes.
John Delancey took one of his space fingers and whew. Anyway, continue on.
Well, while we're talking, the wine is slowly soaking through every single note that I've got here. So time is of the issue, man.
All right. So yeah, we better keep things moving.
No, okay, I'll try and read it, or I'll just make it up. Okay. All right, so that was Scott's. All right, Brian, what year does Marty McFly travel back to in Back to the Future? A, 1972, B, 1955, C, 1907, or D, 4 BC?
It's 1955. It's 30 years earlier than when he left.
Correct, and he didn't go back to when Jesus was born, so
Right. Yes.
that was supposedly 4 BC.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. All right. Scotty?
Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't it be 0? Never go. Never keep going. Keep going.
I missed that.
No, what?
Brian went.
It's already gone. Like, it's a disaster. I may as well just tip the whole glass onto my notepad by now.
Yeah, why not?
But don't worry about it. I'll
Brian-
just
Brian
Well,
went
make
0
full-
it
BC
up.
would be.
Or
Yeah.
B,
All right,
zero
anyway,
BC
please,
is when he
please
was
continue.
born, right?
Well,
That's
I did
birth.
look that
Yes.
Yeah,
I
4
did
years
look it
later,
up.
he'd be 4
supposedly.
He'd be 4
I
He's
don't
years
the
old.
C. He's the C in BC.
Yeah, he's the Christ
I
part.
know. And there'll be people in Tadpole going, get you an idiot again. I just know. I'm not even looking. And I'll go, she's saying stupid shit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
blonde.
New Testament,
All right.
Old Testament. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I'm a Satanist.
Who's
No,
next?
not really. Okay. All right. Scott, number 9.
Yeah.
All right. Who directed 1985 Brat Pack movie St. Elmo's Fire? Was it A, Joel Schumacher, B, John Hughes, C, Robert Zemeckis, or D, Barry Levinson?
Oh, that's harder than it needs to be. Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Colonel didn't get this right either.
Huge fan of Barry Levinson's work around that era, but I don't think that was him. Joel Schumacher sounds right. I'm gonna say Joel Schumacher.
Yes, you are correct.
Oh, phew.
Very good.
That was lucky. I
Yeah.
wasn't 100% sure on that, but it
I'm-
did seem like, because we just talked about him because he died, and we were like
right.
thinking of movies, and I feel like we mentioned that on Film Sack or something.
Just none of, it feels like a John Hughes movie. We all know it isn't. So I would have been able, had I gotten the steal, I would have been able to rule that one out. And I knew it wasn't a Barry Levinson movie. So really, it was going to basically depend on which one of the other two you picked.
Yeah. And in my head, there's a whole swath of films that were basically either Hughes did them or they ripped off Hughes, is what they did.
Yeah.
And in some
Yeah.
cases, they hired the same damn actors and brought them in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what.
Well,
St.
Joel
Elmo's
Schumacher
Fire
went
was.
on to do Falling Down. He did Flatliners.
Yeah.
And, of course, he did The Lost Boys, which
Yeah.
is awesome.
And Batman.
So
Batman
he was a
Forever.
very diverse director.
Don't forget Batman
nipples.
Forever and Batman and Robin. Don't forget those. with
Yeah?
the nipples. Yeah.
Yes. Gave us the bat nipples.
Bat nips.
Yeah, and this St. Elmo's Fire, actually, the critics hated it. Absolutely hated it. And the plebs like us, that just like movies that make us happy, we really enjoyed it. So I think it was made for 10 million and it made 38 million at the box office. So the critics can...
They can bugger off, as
and
you would
turned
say.
turned us all into Man in Motion.
There you go. Nailed it.
Exactly. And great song.
Yeah.
Great song. All right, Brian, it's a Ferris question.
Okay.
All right, what is the name of the snooty restaurant Ferris, Sloane, and Cameron go to in Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Is it Chez Lamont? Is it Chez Quiz? Is it Chez Ooh La La? Or is it Chez La Guillotine? Ooh La La.
Okay. All right.
No.
I'm ruling out the last two. What were the first two again? Chez Lamont?
Chez Lamont and Chez Quiz. Q-U-I-S.
Spell Q-I-S.
Probably Quee, right? Chez Quee.
Chez Qui. Yeah. Jeez.
Now you can
All right. So you're not going to ask me about the
French.
Sausage King of Chicago. You're not going to ask me about
Yeah, what was
Gordie Howe
Cameron's? Yeah.
hockey shirt that Cameron's wearing throughout
I
the
wasn't going to ask any of that easy stuff. I was asking the restaurant, and you can't change it.
Yeah. He gets which movie did Tom Cruise dance to?
That was pretty easy. I'll give you
All
that.
right.
Are
Let's
you
see
having a
here.
whinge, Brian?
He's whinging.
No, I'm not. I'm totally not. I'm stalling. I'm actually using a Brian Dunaway technique.
Right,
He taught
okay.
me. I learned from the master.
Yeah, he's really good at this.
I'm gonna say it's Chez Qui or Chez Quiz.
That is correct.
Nicely done. I would not have known
Yeah.
that at all. So nice job.
Yeah, it was.
Where is
It
it?
was.
Good
It
that he
was.
got it.
I just knew it wasn't the last two.
Yeah.
Good that Brian got it then.
Yeah. Brian got it. He totally
Yeah.
did. Well, that's because you asked him. See, he was the one you asked.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that wine is kicking in. All right, next one. What do I got?
Okay. All right, Scott. Number 11. What does Claire Molly Ringwald, the princess, give to John, Judd Nelson, the criminal, at the end of The Breakfast Club? Is it her bracelet, her wallet, her earring, or her virginity?
Well, I think she may have given him that earlier in the day, but
she
the earring, I believe, is what he then he put it in his ear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep,
Didn't
correct.
clean it.
Diamond
Didn't wash it
earring.
with alcohol.
Yeah. No.
Right out of her ear hole, right into his ear hole.
Yeah. That
Yep.
didn't seem like the most. It's not the most hygienic exchange in a film that I've ever seen.
Like,
No, not
you go
really,
to,
and
you go
you
to
know what?
Claire's boutique, and it's like 18 alcohol swabs that they put on everything that they bring even close to your ear. Yet they're just swapping them like nothing going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's a criminal, so he probably took that diamond earring and went straight down to cash converters and flogged it, or eBay.
Cash converters.
Not that there was any of that back then.
Hold on a second. You got a place called Cash Converters? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Cash converters.
I love that name. That's great.
Really?
I'm gonna go down to Tashi Station and pick up some cash converters.
Some cash converters. That's amazing.
Cash converters. So you take all your stuff down there that's worth like $100, and then they pay you $10 for it.
That's
great.
Well, sure, but that sounds like a pawn shop, so I guess the same. But
it is a pawn shop. Yeah.
I love the name though. We don't call it that here. That's great.
No.
Cash converter.
Yeah, you need to change that. Us Aussies are
like,
onto some really good things here.
Yeah.
In the U.S., we just feel like pawn shops need to have the word pawn in the name of the shop and put either like USA or the name of the city it's in. It's got to be Denver Pawn, USA Pawn, US Pawn.
Yeah, or Golden Pawn. On Golden Pawn is we actually had one called On
Pawn.
Golden
See, we couldn't call them that
Pawn
here
Far.
because we have prawns and pawn. Like prawns, pawn, and pawn. So
Oh, sure.
they had to come up with something different. Otherwise, they
traded
thought they'd be getting shrimp and pawn.
Yeah.
I traded some prawns for some pawn at the pawn shop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got some prawn.
And some prawns. Prawn cocktail.
Don't include porn.
Do you guys have a prawn cocktail?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We call it a shrimp cocktail here. It costs $2.99 after midnight at the Venetian buffet. But please continue.
You can get the big.
Oh,
see,
in Vegas?
The prawns are the
I
big
can't
fatties,
wait to
though.
get back to Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas would be great. But aren't the prawns the big fatty ones? You know, the shrimps are like they're little, but a prawn is like a big ass freaking.
It's much bigger, yeah. It's like a
deal.
langostino.
We have all different sizes here in Australia. So we get the little tiny miniature ones and we get the big green prawns, but we call them all prawns. We don't call them shrimps at all. So
even
all
a
that
tiny
crap
one, you
about
don't call
shrimp
it a
on the
shrimp.
barbie
Gotcha.
was made up by some twat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Paul Hogan.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
everyone in Britain. This is I don't know, not to offend anyone, but everybody in Britain and Australia, they say twat. Over here, if we were to use the terminology, I believe the pronunciation here is twat. So why don't we say twat? Why don't we do that? It sounds less harsh.
Sounds weird.
Well, for us, twat is our
Yeah, you're
but
Virginia.
it is for us here. Yeah.
It is here
yeah.
too.
So
Yeah.
It's not like
What do you
here. It's
call it
like
again?
what do you call it? What do you call a birthday cake in America? A twat.
Well, no, but fanny means something completely different here than it does over there.
Yeah.
it does. Fanny is our vagina as well. So we've got about 2,000 terms for a woman's vagina in Australia.
Vagina.
Australians have 14 different words for a lady's vagina.
But hold on.
Yeah.
So twat means something else or what?
Same thing.
Twat's just a
Means
dickhead.
It's the same thing.
Oh,
Twat is
Oh.
a dickhead.
okay.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like a euphemism, but it's also a nickname for privates, right?
Twat is a nickname for a private. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so twat versus twat.
I just realized that that Gidget Juan LaRue is smoking how they'd call it an FAG over there. Anyway, she's smoking a cigarette, and I think Twitch will ban you for that. So I'm just gonna turn this camera over here to Brian and
Oh, stop.
look at him instead.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
show smoking on Twitch?
I think so. I
you
think they're
can.
weird. I think they're weird about
Yeah,
that.
I'm not smoking a doobie or anything.
No, I know that.
I mean, if I had it, I would be, but I'm not.
It's totally fine. No problem with. I have no problem with it. But I think they have a rule. I could be wrong. I thought Twitch had a rule.
That's all right. That's all right. I'll let it die over there. Okay. All right. So, Brian.
Yes.
All right. We should just do a podcast talking about words that are different from America to Australia. All right. So, this is a Footloose question. All right. So, in the 1984 movie Footloose, why has Reverend Shaw Moore, John Lithgow, and the town council banned dancing in their town of Beaumont? Is it 1 or A, no one can dance well? B, music is banned, so there's nothing to dance to? C, Ariel got pregnant from a dancer? Or D, Ariel's brother died after a night of dancing?
Shoot. Here is where my lack of knowledge of Footloose. I didn't see, so kind of like the Colonel Nut saying 16 Candles are pretty in pink until later. I never saw
He hasn't seen
Footloose.
most of these movies.
Yeah, I never saw Footloose until maybe about 5 years ago or 10 years ago or something. It was right before we watched it for Film Sack, or a few years before we watched it for Film Sack. I think we watched it for Film Sack, didn't we?
yeah, we did.
Maybe
Oh, yeah.
we didn't.
We did.
We did. Okay,
we totally
good.
did. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's not that everybody's a bad dancer. Let's rule that one out.
Mhm.
Is it that music is banned? I don't think music is banned because he listens to classical music and stuff. So I think I'm ruling that one out too. I'm gonna say that it was Ariel's brother died after a night of dancing and carousing and all that stuff.
Boozing. You are correct.
Nicely
Boozing.
done.
Okay, good.
Nicely done.
Brian gets it.
I'm gonna celebrate with a drag from my magic wand.
Oh, by the way, I did a little confirmation. It turns out lots of people vape and smoke on stream, and it's not a big deal. So I didn't realize that. It seems like I signed a thing forever ago that said something about me. I couldn't show something. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was just having your wiener out.
You
And
can't
that's
show
it.
penises.
Yeah, it might be wiener.
Can't show
If I
smoking
stood up and showed that I didn't have a bra on, you wouldn't be able to show that either.
Right. We couldn't do that. That I know. And Brian proved that months ago when he didn't wear his bra, and we got in huge trouble for that.
Exactly. Yes. Oh, big problem. We got the cease and desist and holy mackerel.
Mess. Total mess. By the way, Film Sack 177, Footloose, September 2013. We did that one. So there you go.
There you go. Check it out. And we podcasted it as well. We've podcasted most of these. Okay. Scott, you get a Revenge of the Nerds question.
Uh-oh. All right.
Okay. All right. In Revenge of the Nerds, in the Greek games during Homecoming, the nerds outsell the alpha betas by selling what? A, Betty's underwear. B, fairy floss with Betty's face. C, pies with a picture of a naked Betty. Or D, videos of the naked Pi Deltas.
I don't remember.
Oh, good. Good.
I know
I've got this one.
They did
I've got
video.
this.
I know they took video, but it wasn't. They didn't sell it.
They did take video. That's correct. They put cameras in the Pi Delta's house.
Yeah. What was the first?
I love me some pie.
What was A again?
Okay, A, Betty's underwear.
Uh-huh.
B, fairy floss with Betty's face.
What's
C,
fairy
pies
floss?
with a picture of naked Betty. Or D, videos of the naked Pi Deltas.
What's fairy floss?
Is, cotton candy, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're weird in America. You call it
Fairy
cotton candy.
floss?
Yeah, we call
Hold
it
on
fairy
a minute.
floss.
Fairy floss.
Really? It's
Fairy
called
floss.
fairy floss down there.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That's
Yeah, we
news
need
to
to
me.
do this Australian versus America podcast.
How do we do? Yes, that actually needs an next quiz.
It took my whole it took my whole life to learn this. My whole life I'd never heard of fairy floss until today. All right.
Yeah, candy. It was also called candy floss originally, and then the fairy council got involved and said, "No, you can't take that away from
all the
us."
fairies came in and went, "Oh, you just can't eat that."
Oh my gosh. I don't
fairy floss.
I don't actually know this. So I'm just going to guess.
Okay, get it.
Because I like hearing, since I like learning this today, let's say fairy floss.
Brian?
No, it's the pies, which were really just whipped cream in a tin of pie.
Oh,
Yeah, that would-
now I
A
remember.
photo of a
Pies.
naked
It was just
Betty.
whipped cream.
So- Yeah, they would just take
Deal.
the pie tins and just wipe out all the whipped cream and look at naked pictures.
I forgot.
Of
Okay,
the
now that
naked
you
picture
described
of
it totally, I remember now. And the only reason, look, growing up, that thing was forbidden fruit in this house. My parents would not let me near that freaking movie. I was too young for it or whatever. And then I saw it later and then
Really?
forgot about it. And then saw it again for Film Sack and then forgot about it. I just don't, it's not one of those movies I had on repeat. It's like Porky's or any of those. They just weren't around here because my parents would have murdered me. So I just didn't see those movies very much.
So
But-
weird. I
If it weren't for-
grew up in completely the opposite household because my brother and I grew up and we lived with my parents and my grandparents. So this big house, we all had our own TV room. And when the movie Caligula Uncut was released and my parents bought it on beta, my brother and
my
I sat
God.
down and watched it. And I remember my parents walking in and just going, "Well, they got to learn sometime." So
Wow.
We
I've never
watched-
seen Caligula, but I've heard that it's like the 9.5 weeks of 70s.
it's
70s film.
it's crazy because you've got one half of it
60s.
like quite a serious historical movie, and Malcolm
Mhm.
McDowell's great in it, and you've got Sir John Gielgud, you've got Helen Mirren, and then they didn't know that all this porno stuff was happening at the time as well and being put in. But I don't believe that because Malcolm, he was involved in a lot of it, so he knew. So,
Yeah,
but it's
to
a
know.
fascinating movie. It's fascinating and it's kind of horny, so you should check it out.
Yeah,
Now you
I
big
totally
boys.
will.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay,
Now,
so-
that would be totally allowed. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. Finally you can watch
Finally.
it.
Finally.
Yeah. Phew. Okay, so Brian, number 14, in 1985 adventure film The Goonies, the kids find a treasure map to whose treasure? Is it A, One-Eyed Nigel, B, One-Eyed Sparrow, C, One-Eyed Willie, or D, No-Eyed Regoletti?
It's also what I call my privates, One-Eyed Willie.
Oh,
Yes.
well done. Easy one.
You call your privates.
His colonel, he means. Not his private.
Oh, don't call it that. That's weird.
Yeah, gotta get that right. All right, does that mean number 15 is my last? Do I get the last question? No way.
Yeah, you get the last question, so you can either redeem yourself or Brian takes it.
All right.
All right, so number 15, in the hilarious film, and it is hilarious, Better Off Dead, what is the name of the ski captain Beth dumps Lane Meyer, John Cusack for? Is it A, Johnny Boy, B, Chad Rivers, C, Roy Starlin, or D, Bobby Douchepoodle?
Bobby
Douchepoodle
Douchepoodle is the best name I've heard since Lucy from Oklahoma. I love that name, Bobby Douchepoodle.
I am not Lucy. I promise you. I promise you.
We believe you. We truly believe you.
I'm not Lucy.
We 100% believe you.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we totally do.
All right, so we're avoiding Scott's answer.
No, I know the
so
answer. I know the
Johnny
answer.
Boy,
I know who this is. It's that Roy guy. It's Roy.
Roy Starlin. That is correct.
Yeah, I always remember it Roy because he was a super dick, and that douchepoodle name is probably more appropriate. Well done.
Wow.
I love using
I'm glad I didn't get a chance to steal that one because I don't remember. I remember $2 from that movie. I remember French dressing and French fries.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's about all I remember from that movie.
Yeah, and then Booger was in it.
Ricky,
Yeah.
Monique.
Yeah.
That's a funny film.
It's
You guys
a great
need to
movie.
do it.
No, we love it. We
It's
love
a great film.
Yeah.
I know. I
love
love
the
it.
movie.
Not only that, the actress that plays Monique is really social on Twitter, and you could probably actually get her on
Really?
to have a chat about it. Yeah, she did intros for us for our podcast of Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and she played the princess.
Oh, that's right, because she was one of the princesses. Is she actually French?
No.
So she just does the French accent in two monumental 80s movies. And yeah.
I want the guy that played Booger. Get me Booger on the phone.
Curtis Armstrong. He's on Twitter as well. So I recently got a retweet from 20 Catane.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, the
really?
hot chick on the car in White Snake video. Yeah.
The bachelor party lady.
Yeah.
So, if you do get Curtis Armstrong to be on the show, and you can ask him if he ever stalled the Anselmo contract.
Oh yeah, we should ask that. See how that goes.
Moonlighting reference.
Well done,
everybody.
Brendan. No,
Four
only
people got that.
about 4 of you got it. Well done.
Yeah.
Gidget, fantastic
They're
time as
all
always.
little babies in the tadpole.
Yeah.
They're just little younglings.
Oh yeah, they're just.
We need to get our lightsabers and.
Yeah, but they live in a time where they can see anything, anytime. I think that they're going to be well versed, well educated in old stuff, which is great. I wish I'd have had that when I was younger. I may have appreciated things from the 50s and 60s and stuff, and I didn't.
I did. I grew up in a movie household. My mother showed me all those old black and white movies, all the Hitchcock stuff, all the George Cukor stuff. I saw all about Eve and Letter to Three Wives and Psycho, and I just grew up in a movie household, and then later on porn. So
quite the cinephile.
So anyway, if people want to follow me on Twitter, they don't know how they spell Gidget the standard name. It's Gidget.
Yeah.
My name is spelled Gidgit, not Et.
IT. You hesitated there, and I got nervous that you weren't sure how to spell your own name.
It's like you're an information technology specialist, Gidget.
Yeah, there you go. Gidge IT.
Yeah. It's 4 a.m. in the morning,
that's
guys.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And, people should follow you.
So feel free to follow me at Gidget Von LaRue on Twitter.
Yeah.
Feel free to follow our Retro Cinema Podcast Twitter account and follow us there. We recently did the Steve Martin movie, which is one of my favorite Steve Martin movies, The Man with Two Brains. We did that last week. And this week, just tonight, we released our top 10 films of 1984. So I posted the links over on Discord. So check them out and come and check out the Retro Cinema Podcast because we love our 80s movies.
Oh, very nice. Go check it out, everybody. Cool. It's Gidget. We'll see you next time. Bye. You know, I guess I could go listen. I want to know what their top number one 84 pick was, because 84 was a busy movie year.
That was such a great year for movies.
Yeah, maybe one of the greatest of all time, certainly in our circles. All right, we're going to take und break. When we come back, I don't know why I'm being German here about it. We're going to talk to Wendy. A quick reminder that this show and everything about it is supported on the backs of you, dear strong listeners. That's right. You carry us through the desert and bring us to the other side via Patreon at patreon.com/TMS. Head on over there, check out the great rewards you can get, and support your favorite morning show. That's right, patreon.com/TMS. All right, before Wendy gets here, Brian's going to play a song for us. Brian, what do you got?
That's right. And I'm going to show off a T-shirt I'm wearing today, which is from an 84 movie. I'm wearing a Gremlins T-shirt right there.
That's so cool. He's all like cyber-y 3D and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. He's wearing his 3D glasses, all troned out and stuff. Anyway, let's talk about a band that I want to play for you right now. It's a band called Boy Destroy. This is cool. This is like, I'd say maybe on the 21 Pilots kind of area, the Imagine Dragons kind of thing. This is a Swedish artist who goes by the name Boy Destroy. He's got a brand new, is it just a single? It might just be a single. It is just a single, but it's a great single. It's called As Time Goes By. He's released a couple of these. Warpaint was the previous single. I can't remember if we played on the show or not, but he's released a couple of these, and they're both really, really good. Here's his brand new single. There's a video that goes with it, As Time Goes By Boy Destroy.
When the world was invaded by aliens from beyond the stars, the aliens unleashed a new breed of weapon, machine life forms, that all but annihilated human civilization. The handful of survivors that remained fled from Earth, seeking refuge on the moon.
For a ghost, you bleed just fine. This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the program.
Yeah. Hey, before we get Wendy on here, could I get you to switch switches to a different region in Discord? Maybe that's part of the problem.
Let's move us over to Central
say
here.
Something. There's a long pause before you hear it.
Here we go. Here we are. Hello, Central Time.
Okay. I wonder if this is hopefully this is better. I just don't want to talk over Wendy accidentally.
No, you should be fine. It's I don't know. It sounds like it might be better actually. Okay, I did switch this mid-show, right. Or I switched this mid-Gidget, but it never. I couldn't tell a difference, so I don't know maybe it is different now, though. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, cool.
We shall see. We shall see. All right, we're going to call Wendy, get her in here, see what's going on. Today's more topical, less about a specific issue from someone, which sometimes is fun because, Wendy's involved in the latest and greatest in therapies and, how to help people and all that sort of stuff.
Sometimes it's not all about one person. It's about all people.
That's right. All people. Even Hispanic. No, how does it go? I don't want to do it wrong.
Yes, right. I know.
I don't want to
it's both black people and white people and all people and Hispanic people.
People too. Yeah, it's a long old reference. It's not us being stupid. We promise.
That's right. It's the Red House.
That's right. Yes. Oh, hi, Wendy. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, wait. Don't go anywhere.
Everyone knows it's Wendy.
It's Wendy, my sister. She has an I in her name, and she's here like she is every Thursday that we can manage it anyway. We didn't have one last week because of the Thanksgiving, and the week before that I was out of town, so we have missed.
And the week for that, your internet was dead or something.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, you were here the week before that, weren't you? What happened then? I don't remember now. Oh, no. You're right. That Thursday got hosed.
How the format works anymore.
Weird. 3 or 4 Thursdays in a row, no Wendy. That's jacked up.
Yeah.
It's wrong. Everybody.
It's wrong is what it is.
I don't like that. Well, I do like having you here, though. She's my sister and a professional therapist, helps people all the time with real problems. And today she's on the show to help us with our fake ones. Just kidding. They're not fake. They're always real. You guys are always real and great. Except today we don't really, like I mentioned earlier, did not do an email. Instead, you're going to tell me about, and let me read this from our discussion.
No, don't read it. I'll just explain it.
Okay, explain it, because I'm fascinated. Every time you come up with an acronym, you don't come up with one. But you tell me some hot new acronym, I know that it means you're excited about some new thing or some new idea. So let's get right into it. What do you want to talk about?
So this whole thing will be just a big fat commercial for realsteps.org.
Okay, great.
Because we did something this last round that was really cool, and we're going to do a lot more of it in the next round. So if you find this interesting, because everyone's probably thinking, oh, you're just going to make me exercise and drink water. And it's like, no, that is like just a fraction of what Real Steps is actually. It's basically therapy with a little bit of health tips is what it is. At least that's how I see it. So, okay, anyway, so I did this with them as a group, and it was awesome. And so if any of them are listening, they know what I'm talking about, and they might be nervous because what makes it a little risky is, of course, I can't see any of you. I don't know if I'm making everyone cry or not.
Yeah.
There could be consequences. So here is your warning. If you are emotionally and psychologically fragile, then just step off the call right now. But if you feel pretty stable, this might be something that's really interesting for you. Okay. So it's called IFS, and it stands for Internal Family Systems. And it is a therapy protocol thing that has been around not too long. It's really just come into the awareness of most therapists in the last couple of years. There's always lots of theories and lots of types of practice and lots of things that go on in my industry. And anyway, this one's the hot new thing, and for good reason, because it is really cool.
What does IFS stand for again? What's the acronym?
Internal Family Systems.
Okay.
So I'm going to explain it first, what it is.
Okay.
And then if any of you are looking for a therapist, Google your therapist who also knows how to do this, because it's freaking magic. Now, I know it's not magic, but it's amazing.
Okay.
Amazing what has been happening with my clients. So it's really, really fun. So anyway, let me explain why it's even called Internal Family Systems. So the guy who started is named Dick Schwartz, which is a great name. And he is like the chillest dude in the world. I love watching him speak. He's just so like calm. It's funny. Anyway, he was trained as a family therapist. And so for years and years, he's working with family therapy. And so one idea of like, if you've never been to family therapy, you maybe don't quite know what what happens in there, but let me just give you a little idea. So imagine a mother and a father and a kid, and there's a therapist. They're kind of sitting around the room, and they're talking about whatever. And the therapist asks the child to share some of his feelings, some things he's struggling with. And out of the corner of the kid's eye, he can see his dad getting flustered or maybe red-faced or shifting uncomfortably. Okay. And then the kid kind of quiets down, right? He's not going to really say because clearly he just made dad uncomfortable. Okay. So what a therapist would do in that situation, a family therapist, it's very much about, it's very much about the sort of the dynamic in the room, as well as just like people's emotions, right? So the therapist would actually ask the dad to scoot back. So he was no longer in the eye, the corner of the eye for the kid.
Okay. So keeping him in the room, but just out of peripheral vision.
Yeah, out of vision.
Okay.
And, he's monitoring sort of who's speaking and, making sure everyone feels safe in there. Well, that kid's not going to feel safe to open up if he sees dad getting grumpy. So you have dad physically scoot back. Okay. So then the kid can open up and share more, and, then we know what's really going on. Okay. So that's not all that happens in family therapy, but that is an example of sort of a dynamic that occurs in family therapy that you can, watch happen, and you work with it, and it helps families communicate better. Okay. So what he figured out was, I can do that with somebody internally. Like they've got parts of them that jump out and get grumpy, and then other parts that quiet down because that other part is out there jumping around and being grumpy or whatever. And I can work in the internal world of an individual kind of similarly as a family structure. And so that's why it's called Internal Family Systems. Okay. So that's the origin of the name.
Sure.
And what's amazing about it is that it's really just really, 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 really helpful. So I'm going to do a little experiment with you guys.
Okay.
So buckle up. And what's cool about IFS in particular is like, not that this is, I'm doing a little taste of therapy here, people. So I don't have any consent from any of you. This is illegal. So it's up to you what you do with the things I'm saying.
Right.
I am not responsible.
Okay.
No, and what's actually really cool about IFS is it is not dangerous. Actually, it's you're not necessarily like stirring up the pot and leaving someone to their own devices. It's actually quite the opposite of what I'm saying. It's actually really amazing. I'm going to stop saying actually.
It sounds
okay.
You're pretty excited about it for sure, but it sounds like a disease. Like someone says, "Oh, you got irritable femur syndrome" or something like that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yes,
And
we both immediately went to IBS when we heard IFS. Yes.
Yeah, we did.
I know.
Couldn't help it.
I know, which says so much about you.
Yeah.
Anyway, here's the thing about this too is that it's not that I thought I knew most how the brain worked or like I understand every theory or whatever. Not at all. But I have been doing this for 20 something years and I feel like I have a good sense, but this is beyond anything I've ever experienced with people. So if I sound super geeked out, it's because I am finally really geeked out about something. In fact, the kids, we all had dinner the other night and we all talked about what we geek out about. And I geek out about few things, but I am geeking out about IFS pretty much every day. So I feel like I've joined the world of
geeking out. Welcome to this side of the barn. Yeah.
I mean, I geek out about Lord of the Rings, so there's something, but minus that, there's not a lot that I think I could just talk about all day. Yeah. But I can talk about this, which is why I'm making you guys do it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining my
As
my
Boromir would say, one does not simply geek out about Lord of the Rings. You have to be a true fan.
By the way, did you know in the scene? See, I'm geeking out. Look at this. I'm geeking out.
Already happening. Yes.
Okay. When they're all at the council of Elrond and
you have my axe and you have my bow and all that. Yeah.
And he's looking down and he's pushing his eyebrows, Boromir, and he says, "One simply doesn't walk into Mordor." He kept forgetting that line. So it was written on a piece of paper on his lap. That's why he's looking down.
Really?
Do you know why that's great? Because it became this meme of all memes. Like it's one of the biggest memes ever. And that's great to hear that. The origin of that meme is from, I always love it when they're from like, not from mistakes, but from like weird setups where it's like, oh, you couldn't remember, say I have a piece of paper there. Also, why is that so hard to remember? That's weird for Sean Bean.
Well, it was whatever beforehand or something. I don't know. But you watch the blooper reels. People can't remember basic stuff sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. Plus he's probably obsessed with this thought in his head, like, they're probably going to kill me again in this movie. I died.
They're running out of colors.
Coming.
That's fantastic.
Anyway, so there's my first geek out. Here's my second one. All right. So what I need everybody to do is just trust me.
Okay, we're trusting you. We trust you.
All right, trust me. Yep. No, it's good.
Trust.
Okay. So I want everybody to think about a thought pattern or emotion that gets in your way. It annoys you. It's something that you kind of wish these thoughts or emotions didn't just come in and take over.
Oh, I have those. All right.
Yeah. So this is going to work good on you. All right. So think about something. And again, it can be thought patterns or it can be emotion stuff, but it's got to be something that kind of repeats itself, shows up pretty frequently. And so I'm going to use you two as my litmus test. So when you're ready, you just tell me, yep, you got it.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. I've got it.
You got it. Okay.
I don't have to tell you what it is, right? I can
nope.
Okay,
this is how we keep it all confidential.
Because it has to do with a co-host.
Oh, shoot. You said the quiet part loud and the loud part quiet. Oh, no.
But it might have to deal with somebody who could be listening. So that's why I'm being like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, don't tell. No, in fact, what's kind of amazing is I am able to do this with someone without them ever revealing any sort of confidential emotion or information, which is not normal in therapy. Let me say that. Okay.
I can't wait till the end of this where you're going to go, is this your card? But go ahead.
Yeah, it feels like a magic trick, but
it does. Okay. It totally does.
All right. Okay. All right. So you got your pattern or thought, thought pattern or emotion pattern. Great.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right. You guys are ready. Here we go.
Yeah, we're good.
So I want you to focus on it. And then I want to see if you can find the feeling of it that it brings up when you're thinking about this thing in your body. So can you feel it? Maybe it's in your heart or your head or your stomach.
Oh no, I have diarrhea now.
Oh.
Just kidding, I don't. Yeah, so you're sort of saying what sensations do you experience when you think about that thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you conjure the pattern of the thought, the emotion, and then like, where are you feeling that inside your body? And what is the sensation that you feel?
See, that's weird because I don't think
Like
I've ever
a
thought
knot
of that.
in the pit of my stomach.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Brian's
Wow.
doing it right. Good job, Brian. So not in the pit of your stomach. Okay. So you've located it. How about you, Scott? Where do you feel it?
I'm moving my right foot rapidly. I do that.
Nice.
And I also know that I reach back behind my head and scratch the back of my head a lot when I think about this.
So leave it to you to be weird. So Brian has a very usual reaction, which is the pit in your stomach. No, just kidding, Scott. That's totally fair. People have described sometimes they can feel it like their skin crawling, or maybe there's like a dull ache in their head, or their throat feels tight or something, right? Okay. So everything's normal. I'm just messing with you. Okay. So Scott, you scratch your head, you shake your right foot.
Yeah.
Very specifically.
Kind of twitch it, like kick it. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some kind of nervous energy there. Right. Okay. So now hopefully everyone has located this feeling in their body. For some of you, you may go, I feel nothing in my body. And there's one of two things happening there. You're really disconnected from your body, or this thing doesn't bug you that much. So pick something that really bugs you.
All right.
So you're going to locate it in your body, and you're going to just, for a moment here, we're just going to notice it. So this feeling, so now we have a sort of a location of it a little bit. So we just want you to notice it. And then I want you to notice how you feel towards this thought or emotion. And then if you guys want to, you can tell me, how do you feel towards this thought or this emotion?
The emotion?
Yeah.
Angry.
So you're angry towards it. Okay.
Angry towards the emotion itself. Like, I don't want to feel like this.
Okay, Scott, how about you?
I feel angry that I can't just ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're angry at the emotion because it just won't disappear.
Because it just doesn't go away. I can't think it away or wish it away or make it go away. Yeah.
Got it. So you're angry at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn.
So you may not. What are you
Nothing. I said damn thing, but I'm just being an idiot. Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. So clearly, I asked you to conjure something that annoys you. So of course, you guys picked something that would annoy you. So that makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That you are not liking this thing very much that keeps emerging, this thought or this feeling.
Right.
So often you may fight with this feeling, or you may try to ignore this feeling. So those things make a lot of sense. Sometimes you might even hate some of these feelings, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to try this part, and this is where you got to just go with me here. And it really helps to close your eyes. You do not have to. Anyone listening, it's always, you have the right to keep your eyes open, but there's something about closing your eyes that just really helps, stop all the visual stimulation to help with this. So it's going to get a little weird. So everyone just hang on, close your eyes. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to see if this part, we'll say that part of me. So there's a part of you that is feeling these things, thinking these things, but then this other part of you hates that feeling or hates that thing. So it's kind of you're bifurcated here. There's two parts going on. So I want you, the you part, the Scott and the Brian part, I want you guys to really see with your eyes closed if you can, because I can't see you if your eyes are closed.
Yeah,
But close your eyes.
them.
Okay.
They're closed.
Yep.
All right. I want you to see if those parts that hate that other part, so like you who hates this part, and see if you can just relax it a little bit.
The part that hates it?
Mm-hmm. Just like think of calming that part a little bit, just relaxing
you say that
it.
part, you mean like just
the part that you feel
the hate towards. So Scott, you hate this pattern or this feeling that resides in your foot and the scratching the back of your head.
that you can't do anything about it or can't not.
So when you say that part, I'm trying to physicalize this. The part when you refer to part,
I hate my foot.
So it's you, really.
Yeah.
He hates these guys.
So really, we're just talking about ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying part because That's the language here. But so the you that hates this part of you.
Okay.
That is feeling this
So
way.
I'm focusing on the thing that hates the feeling of the pit in my stomach that comes up when I think about this thing. I'm not hating the pit in my stomach. I'm hating the okay. All right.
Nope. And that part that hates that pit in the stomach, that's the part we're gonna see if we can relax.
This is a lot of Doctor Strange layers. Like I'm in the astral plane.
I love it. Here's the thing is I'm not making you guys do the visual version of this because I can't it would break confidences. But it is incredible when you do the visual work of this too. Yeah. So if you have weird images that pop in your head, awesome. You just don't have aphantasia like I do. But a lot of people can really imagine things. So it's great. Don't try to control them, and don't try to don't overly worry. Just whatever shows up in your brain. It's all good. But what we need you to do is to take this part that hates the pit in the stomach and hates the shaking foot emotions, and see if it can relax, and see if we can replace some of that hate, or just scooch that over a little bit and see if we can bring curiosity in here.
Okay, by the way, just a side note, this is why my brain is so effed up. All you had to do is say the word aphantasia, and all I could do now, all I see is dancing autonomous.
Aphantasia, I know,
yeah, I see the cartoon, and that's all I can see now.
Okay.
Mickey with a wizard's hat.
Yeah. See,
here's what I need you to do, Scott. I don't try to do anything. Just let it. If it's that, it's that. It doesn't matter. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
That's the part of you that hates that's happening is the part we need to chill.
Okay.
So chill.
Right. And actually that shows that you're kind of relaxing into this thing and you're not focusing on the thing that hates the foot.
Yes.
Foot.
Yes. It just is.
Okay. All right. No, that's good. Okay. But I like this idea of letting curiosity in where just nothing but anger was. Okay. So
letting curiosity, and even if curiosity is an image, it's like a little guy that comes in, that's okay too. So don't try to control what this looks like. It's all good. It's going to feel weird though, if you are very visual. So anyway, curiosity is now coming in. And here's the thing. For some of you, you're not going to get there. Curiosity might feel like a stretch because that hate's pretty strong, or that anger is pretty strong, or some of those feelings towards this part, right? But do your best. Okay. And here's where I'm going to have you do a pretty odd thing, as if this isn't odd already.
Now is when shit gets
Everything is normal if you guys would shut up and listen. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So
I have a new thing to hate. Hold on.
Exactly. Okay. So I want you to do this. Your eyes are closed. We are now being really curious, or we're trying to be really curious towards this part of us that previously we were feeling some anger and hatred towards. Now we're just being curious about it. And I want you to, here's the odd part, but just go with it here, is internally, inside, I want you to ask this part that's in the pit of your stomach what it wants you to know. And I don't want you to think of the answer. I just want you to wait for the answer to come. Just sit and wait. So ask it what it wants you to know and wait for its answer.
What we want our curiosity to know.
No.
No, we're asking, you're asking your twitching foot what it wants you to know.
Thinking of an answer. Yeah, don't think of an answer. Just you're visualizing yourself and you ask this part what it wants you to know.
I just see Fantasia stuff.
It's not talking.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Really,
so
that knot just clammed up, man.
All right. So sometimes that happens. So I want you to try something else. Okay. So let's add a little more relax. Okay. And you're just got to be curious. What is it actually about? What is it trying to do? It's like it has a job, right? This pit in your stomach this emotion keeps coming. It keeps showing up around certain things. What is it trying to tell you? So don't answer.
Okay, all right, I'm not answering.
Do you have a question other than?
No, I was going to answer, so I'm not going to answer now.
Okay. Just really quick.
Yeah.
This is the hardest part of this, is just to listen, right? To what it might be offering to tell you. If you focus on it, and ask it what it wants to know. Just listen, see if something pops up.
And I can't tell if it's really the subconscious answer that it's giving me, or if I'm just answering with what I think it wants me to, what I think it wants me to know.
And this is really common because only you two. Yeah, everyone's an overthinker. And so that's what's tricky about this. If you can, okay, here's a new rule: don't talk.
We're doing
because normally people don't talk the whole time.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so just be quiet. Okay, so going back to this idea that you are being curious about this part of you that keeps showing up. Okay, that you have these hard feelings for, but we are channeling our curiosity. So I'm going to have you to try this other thing. I want you to ask this emotion or thought. And if you have to visualize it as a separate thing, that's really helpful for people. It's okay. I want you to ask it internally, what is it afraid of, or what is it afraid would happen if it didn't keep pestering you? If it didn't keep just showing up. And then just listen.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything.
How about you, Scott?
I get this feeling of, that's weird. I get this feeling of like it doesn't know why it's doing it. Like it doesn't know like why. If I could talk to my foot and say, "Foot, why do you twitch when you think of this thing you hate?" Or not twitch, but wiggle around, and the answer is basically, I don't know why I do it. I just do it.
Okay, so I want you, Scott, stay with it. Brian, you're lost cause. Scott, I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking. Okay.
I know.
I want you to stay with it, Scott, and I want you to just ask a little follow-up question about, it doesn't know why it's doing it, but ask it what it's afraid would happen if it didn't do it.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, that actually, my sense of that is pretty immediate. It's that I won't be on top of it. That I won't have the alertness for the thing that I have convinced myself that I need. Like it's like having some a kind of a ready aim kind of thing, and I'm never firing. And it's like
it's keeping you ready.
Yeah, keeping me ready.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's very good. And it makes a lot of sense. I don't even know what this thing is, but I can tell you already that makes sense. That it's keeping you on your toes. And it's so Brian, we can do this with you for a second here. So you, even if you
it's telling me that the chicken was a baby the whole time.
Okay, so go to your pit of your stomach again. I will not be deterred by your jokes. Okay, go to the pit of your stomach.
Yeah.
And just like be really relaxed and curious. Like ask it why it's there. What's its job? Is there something it wants to let you know about it being there?
The thing I'm getting from it, and again, I mentioned this earlier, but it's almost like it's telling me to be forgiving or be leaf on the wind about it, like I am with other things.
Okay.
To just be like, let it go, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Okay, so do that next step here. I want you to ask it what is afraid will happen if it doesn't keep pestering you, if it doesn't do this job of
being a knot in the pit of my stomach.
Yeah. If it doesn't do this, what's it afraid would happen if it doesn't keep trying to remind you?
Like it's acting as a warning, like it's a warning about I don't know, so, like falling for lies and disbeliefs and things like that.
Yeah. So it's protecting you.
It's protecting me.
Yeah. And so Scott, yours is similar. It's protective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
So
now I'm wanting to have conversations with all my parts.
yeah. Oh, I promise. It's super fun. So here's the thing. There is not a part of you that is evil, is pure bad. Every part of us has a protective function. So what we just did is we took a part you both hated or were angry at a minute ago, and we shifted to curiosity and openness and listening, and it just gave us a reason to understand it differently, right? Which is it's here to protect you. So I want you to do 3 more things. I'm not going to ask you questions to answer out loud, but just kind of do this internally.
Okay.
Just ask it one more time. Is there anything else it would like you to know? And you can just keep that answer to yourself. So I'll just wait a second for you to do that. Ask it if there's just anything left it wants you to know.
Okay.
And then ask it if there is something it's protecting. Not only trying to protect you here, it's protective, but is there another part that it's protecting?
That's interesting.
And if you want to share any of it, you can. It's just this where it gets more personal.
I mean, it's interesting because my immediate sense after that question was this feeling of it's almost like the answer was like you're always cocked and ready. So this is your default stance, and you've done this for a while now, and you probably need to adjust it because you're gonna you'll fall apart. Like eventually you can't. A bow is a good example. You can't hold a bow at full pull.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna lose strength. You're gonna have it pull back. You can't do it. You can do it for a while, and you can make it. For whatever reason, that metaphor keeps rolling in my head as I ask that question.
So then the question to follow up, or even just another layer, is that why is it cocked and ready all the time? What is it protecting?
Oh man, the answer right from that is it doesn't know.
Yeah.
And
that's because there's probably a couple layers in front of the thing it's protecting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you both to do something, and everyone else listening who's doing this. This has got to be weird to
If
be
you're
doing
driving, though,
else.
keep your eyes open.
Yeah, keep your eyes open if you're driving.
And also, I'm sorry I can't give you specifics to the things you're saying because I can't hear you.
Wait, said, can I say one quick thing? You said all the body, all our parts are not, there's no evil parts, right? That's what you said. But I watched a movie called Zardoz, and it said this.
The penis is evil.
I'm just putting that out there. It says the penis is evil. So I'm just, I'm not saying movies are everything.
You just undid 20 minutes of therapy, Scott.
I couldn't help it. It's a comedy morning show.
Great.
I couldn't help it. All right, go back.
Here's what's great about this is that it is not like hypnosis or anything where you have to like hold the mood. It does make it take longer and is annoying, but it is not. It's because these parts are always there and they're always ready to chat with us. And they're our whole system internally it's like a dysfunctional family in there, right? Which is this part. So Scott, I'll just take a minute to analyze you for a moment. So you have a part that keeps everything cocked and ready.
Yeah.
It is on the alert at all times. It doesn't even know why it's doing that. It just knows it needs to. And there's probably other parts that come in similarly to make sure you and most times, so we have terms for these. These parts are called managers or firefighters. And they tend to they manage all the things, make sure everything is done. So like a perfect example would be someone whose house is perfectly clean and they never overeat. Like they're just managing chaos or the feelings with, behaviors, right? I always picture someone in like a little suit. Mm-hmm. And then the firefighter is like, the big hose under their arm and they just crank up the water and then wash everything away. That's our, we dive into sort of disappearing into Netflix forever or another world in a video game, or drugs, alcohol. And it doesn't mean all those things are always firefighters, but it's the thing we use to escape pain. That's considered the firefighter. So we got these managers and firefighters, but guess who they're protecting? They're protecting what we call the exile. And the exile is a very wounded part of us, or a vulnerable part. So it could be feelings of worthlessness, or it could be abandonment feelings, or I'm not good enough, or things aren't safe. So very primal, usually very young child parts of us that have been hurt in some way. And so we've got all these firefighters and managers out there protecting that so we don't get hurt again. And so when someone has been traumatized, those exiles tend to have a bigger role to play in that family dynamic. And so we got a lot of managers and a lot of firefighters working to protect them. So what this is asking some of these managers and firefighters to help us understand them. Like, what are their roles and what are they doing? So I want you guys to do this final thing. So keep your eyes closed. Hopefully they're still closed. So if you found that this part we've just been working with, so the pit of the stomach and in the foot, is protective. There's something about it that's protective. I want you to do something that might seem even more weird, is I want you to see if you can extend some gratitude to that part for its attempt to try to protect you.
Thank you for your service, not in the pit of my stomach.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
Kind of.
So you just kind of thank that part for what it shared with you and that it is doing this hard work.
Well, it's interesting in this.
That'll do. Not
in these in these closed-eye discussions I'm having with my foot. I'm also realizing that there's a whole brigade working together there, and it sometimes means like horrific sciatic pain. It means I favor this side. I'll sit and lean this direction sometimes. Like I'll lean into it. When I sleep, I tend to curl toward that side. Like all this stuff's popping into my head about the way I use my right side. Yeah. And I never really thought of it as more than just a physicality thing.
It's not.
Yeah, so that's a really interesting. I hadn't really thought of it in any other way, actually, till now.
So this is what I really love about IFS. You can open your eyes. First of all, take a big breath. Okay. Now I want you to do something. I almost forgot. I want you to just, Brian, I want you to put your mind's eye back on the pit of your stomach and tell me how that feels. Has it changed at all?
It feels like I can still conjure it up if I think of the thing that bothers me, but it's hollow, and at least I know why it's there, and we've come to an agreement. Ed and I.
Nice.
Yeah.
You found some.
I don't feel like it's
not your friend yet.
No, I don't feel like it's my enemy anymore. So I feel like
Good.
I feel like
nice.
You're
on the right track. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. How about
So
you,
the next step is what? Like Brian will send me an email and tell me how he feels, or what? No, I'm just kidding.
No. So Scott,
all right.
pay attention to your foot. How does it feel now?
I'm not just saying this, but relaxed for the first time in a long time. Oh. Like I'm not annoyed by it. It's almost like to give it further description, it's a bit like restless leg a little bit. That feeling of like, oh my gosh, my freaking foot, and you're kicking it in the sheets and stuff trying to sleep. It's that sensation sometimes. And the more if I'm in a stressful situation, it just goes it's just over the top. And right now it's kind of dormant and not doing anything, which is weird. Okay. I'm not used to that.
This is how this feels like magic a little bit. And it's really not, but it does feel like that. I mean, I have to say the things I've watched people do in my sessions and figure out, and I don't have to figure any of it out. I could just guide them to talk to the parts of their body. It's really weird. Like it really is weird, but I'm going to tell everyone this. If you have had any kind of interesting experiencing with this, it really would be worth your time to find a therapist who does this. But also just for funsies, go watch Inside Out, because Inside Out is a perfect example of how it really works.
The Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That movie is that.
It is that.
Ah, that's funny. You're right.
Well, let me just tell you, they consulted with a lot of the right people.
Yeah.
And it basically is IFS.
Interesting. Because, I mean, there's nothing new about us in creative endeavors saying, all right, let's anthropomorphize something. Let's make it humanish. Let's assign humanity to a tree, and now the tree can talk and hang out with you or whatever. And in a lot of ways, that's what that movie does with emotions. But now that you say that in this context, that's crazy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you watched it now, you'll see it, the whole thing very, very differently.
Yeah, I love that.
So they consulted with a lot of people. In fact, I have done IFS sessions with people who have not seen that movie, and they will describe a wall of memories made out of marbles. It is so weird. So I don't know. I feel like it's like, science and voodoo all mixed up. But the cool part is just, your pit of your stomach isn't hurt so bad and your foot isn't shaking. It's like, okay, well, that measurement on its face is just, it's calming. And really the idea here is that you befriend the parts that are doing all this work to protect you. How we act is that we hate them and we banish them and we wish they'd stop. If we stopped and just got curious about what they're trying to tell us, fascinating what we learn.
Interesting.
Did I just blow everybody's mind?
Cool.
My foot, my sciatic, and half of my back were my friends all along.
Yeah, it turns out if you would just listen to them and talk to them. And if you know me well, and some of you really don't, and some of you do, you will see that this is so far out from how I normally do things. This is like, for the first couple months of me doing this kind of work, I was giggling, this is not how I operate. And we're talking to parts of you that are weird. I just thought it was so weird. And I just cannot deny that it is massively helpful for people. And so now I just talk about it like it's normal. And I sometimes have to remind myself, you might sound crazy to people. Because if you think about how we sort of traditionally have thought about mental health, it's that there shouldn't be voices in your head. That's not a sign of mental health. But the truth is, everyone's got a million voices in their head. And if you only had one, you wouldn't actually be human. Or you would actually be in trouble if there was just one. And so it's not that the problem is you have many voices. The problem is the warring between them and the parts being, polarized and in conflict. Yeah. So just like that family therapy session, you are working to heal the system by moving parts around and understanding them and their roles. So
right.
There you go. Amen.
Fascinating. Well done.
And one of the voices in my head does sound like Amy Poehler, so that's a good thing.
Good.
Perfect.
Oh, well, mine sounds like that guy from The Daily Show who played Anger. I can't think of his name all of a sudden.
Not Jack Black. Lewis Black.
Lewis Black. I got Lewis Black in my head. Yeah, he's great. Well, that's awesome. And the penis is not evil. I don't want to put that out there as a truth. It's just something Zardoz taught me. Anyway, Wendy, always a pleasure. I know Thanksgiving went okay because we saw you on Thanksgiving. That was fun. That whole big phone
fun
deal.
That was exactly like real Thanksgiving. Everyone talking over each other, some old people being grumpy. It was as if we were together.
Yeah, that was weird. Everybody kind of played their role.
It was really funny.
Yeah.
My favorite part, I don't know if you know this, but Taylor and Dylan just kept talking and I would just keep muting them and they didn't know.
Yeah, I heard about that because they were super yappy. And then toward the end, they were like, I think she's just muting us. And I said, she probably is, you guys. You guys are talking like you're full of sugar or something.
Hilarious. And I just kept watching their faces and they'd be confused. I don't know. That brought me a lot of joy.
Yeah. For whatever reason, that's the one difference between this and the old 35 person get together is you had control over this system of muting and switching rooms.
Oh my God.
It was kind of fun. I just break people into groups and make sure I wasn't in a group I didn't want to be in. It was amazing.
Yeah.
How'd you do the wishbone remotely?
Shoot. We didn't do it this year.
I know. Yeah. Well, it would have been dried by then already, but
Yeah, but I don't know where the bone. I gotta go find out if we kept it. Oh my gosh, I'm horrified by this. We do this every year.
I know. Can you believe it? What have you done?
COVID. What are you gonna do? Yeah, the funniest part of the night for me was my Korean brother Matt, and it doesn't matter that I say he's Korean, except that just to give you some context, Matt is a wackadoo. He's the funniest, weirdest dude you'll ever meet, and he's so funny. Anyway, he's there for a while. But at some point, he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. So he holds up a piece of paper that says, I am leaving, bye. He doesn't say anything. He just holds up this little piece of paper he wrote that says, I am leaving. And then he just disconnects. And
probably because he couldn't get a word in edgewise with Dylan and Taylor.
Yeah.
Amazing. It was very really fun. By the way, so my Real Steps Discord channel, someone posted that says, Wendy totally IFS the entire tadpole today on TMS. And someone else said, just listening right now, this is hilarious. They are too crazy and opposite of relaxed. Agreed. I
Well, yeah,
agree.
because we're on a show. That's
crazy.
we can't. That's the other
You're
thing.
not
is we're
doing therapy.
The,
I get it.
Yeah, we're doing the best we
Right.
can given the circumstances. But it still got me further than I've been in a while. And if I was in an actual therapy situation, you'd have a nice
Be
quiet room.
amazing. You should try. And then someone else said folks in the chat aren't getting it either. So here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
This is high level, highbrow stuff. And if you don't get it, sorry.
You just don't get it. You're not part of the club.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. It was worth a shot. I mean, it's an experiment. I appreciate you being game. It's not normal to do public therapy like this, but there's some real cool stuff about it that
My foot has never been more
people should look
relaxed
into it.
than right now.
I know.
I
right?
haven't been flitting around or doing anything down here, and that's just normal for me. So
take this as your homework assignment, Scott. The next time your foot is doing its thing, stop and have a little conversation with it. Be curious. See what happens.
Hey, foot, knock it off. I'm
No,
sleeping.
it's not like that. It's like gentle, nice, friendly.
Oh, right. Hey, foot, come hang out. Let's be. You and I are pals.
Absolutely.
Here's
Loving,
a nice sock.
friending.
Here, check out this warm sock I'm going to put on you. How's that feel? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
good. Nice and cozy.
compassion, a little gratitude. You'd be shocked at how well it will work with you if you're nice to it.
That's fantastic. Go check out realstuffs.org and keep an eye on it for when there are openings in the next sessions and stuff. I think that's cool. You guys have a Discord group. That's a great way to keep.
Yeah, they're amazing people. We're going to start in February, so I'll talk about it more as it gets closer because February will never be here, except it'll also be here tomorrow.
It'll be here
somehow.
tomorrow. Yeah, it'll be here before you know it. I mean, you weren't here for 4 weeks and we barely noticed. So, and not because of you, but
wow, thanks.
just time's just weird, man. Anyway, it's my sister Wendy. Everybody, check her out on Instagram as well. She's Wendy Dunford over there, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Really interesting stuff.
That's awesome. That was really cool.
That's pretty cool. There's a whole big old Wikipedia article on this thing too. People are looking for basics on just what the method is and some of the science and studies behind it and stuff. You can go find it. It's just Internal Family Systems Model, or just search IFS on Google. That's how I found it. So cool. Worth checking out. Okay, I think we're done for now. Except a couple emails, quick things to get through here. Dodd Vickers. I wanted to mention him. We're going to give him a little bit of this right here.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, he's been a friend of the show forever, and we really like Dodd. He's cool. He also has the coolest job. He does like location scouting in Georgia
so
for
cool.
like TV shows, The Walking Dead, did some stuff for the Marvel stuff. Like that dude's just all over it. Anyway, he says, during the filming hiatus brought on by the pandemic, I started a podcast that I've been considering for some time. It's called Locations on 2, which you can find at locationson2.com. It's all like the 2 is spelled TWO, like 2, number 2. And also everywhere else you get your podcasts. This is a series of interviews with other location pros discussing the many experiences and projects that we've worked on. I've published 20 of the 30-plus episodes, and I'm already recording with many more in the works. Of those, several are voting members of the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. Ooh, that's fancy.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
He says, in addition, I was asked to be a guest on Roger Deakins' podcast, Team Deakins, which you can find over there as well, which was an incredibly flattering thing. In addition to causing a jump in my IMDb star meter, it also caused a spike in downloads of my show and gaining some traction. He says, I'm a huge, as a huge film sack. I think he meant fan.
Oh,
fan of film sack. I was wondering if my
Fan
behind-the-scenes show might be a nice compliment to your efforts. Well, I freaking agree, and in fact, I'm considering maybe even putting some of these on the mega feed or something. See if people want to hear these because they sound fantastic. Cool. Anyway, I want to give him a shout out, so go check it out and show Dodd some support. Check out his show, Locations on 2, TWO.
Very cool. We love Dodd.
He's the one that put the Obey Henry sticker on stuff
Yes.
all over the set for like John Ratzenberger TV show.
Right.
And
exactly. Yeah. Like
so
you know.
cool.
I love his appreciation of the show and his way of showing it. What's her face? The redhead from 6 Feet Under has a Coverville T-shirt because of.
No way.
Because of him.
That's so cool. She's awesome. She's my favorite person on that. She's one of my favorite actresses. Period. She's great.
She's great. She really is great. One other thing going on is Tadpool Santa. It's help! It's happening. Oh, no. This is where, if you're brand new to the Tadpool, this is where you can get a little secret Santa gift in the mail from another Tadpooler who doesn't know you, who might remain anonymous. Usually it's stayed anonymous with me. I haven't let anybody in on who I've gotten and the people who've gotten me haven't let anybody know. But I'm in the mix. So if you get me, I really I get you one thing that you want, that you talk about in your request, and then I throw in a bunch of other random shit from the studio here.
Yeah.
But regardless, you should do this. Sign up at bit.ly/TadSanta2020.
Nice.
bit.ly/TadSanta2020. And you can choose just to be domestic, just send something to somebody else in the US, or you can choose to help somebody out internationally. But it's a really, really cool thing. The key is you've also got to send something out, people.
Oh, yeah,
you can't just, it's not just all about you, it's about somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's really fun to get something for somebody else. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Give
so go check it out.
Give that link one more time.
Yep. bit.ly/TadSanta2020, all lowercase, bit.ly/TadSanta2020.
Santa.
Let's do something cool with 2020 and get it before we kick it the hell out the door.
That's what I say. I'm putting this in here so I can remember to put it on the site. So if you guys get lost, you'll see it on the site
cool.
as well. So
there you
watch
go.
for that. That's a good reminder also that Carter's still running her stocking stuffer charity campaign. 100% of the profits are going to not only families in need, but families in the community. I didn't make this clear last time I talked about this, but if you go get her artwork pack that's got art from me, art from her, pins, stickers, magnets, just rad stuff, things for Mandalorian. I did a cool WoW thing in there, postcards, literally they're actual postcards if you want to use them for that. Anyway, $25, and all of it goes to these families in need, and they are in our community. So they are tadpoolers / frog panthers who are in a rough spot this year due to COVID, due to other stuff. We've got people in this community who've gotten wrecked by hurricanes, and we barely bring that up anymore.
Yeah, wildfires. I mean, crap has happened this year beyond COVID.
Yeah.
Just more crap has happened.
And we want people who can't afford it to have a great Christmas, so that's what we're doing this for. And my 2 daughters are running it. I'm just here to help promote it and to contribute to it. So go check it out at Miss Carter Art. Sorry, I keep screwing that up. MissCarter.art/shop, or just go to MissCarter.art. It'll get you there. And you'll see it right away. It's the stocking stuffer there, and it's it'll be just in time for Christmas. They're actually here today getting a bunch of these packs ready, working on that together, and it's really awesome to see. So we want to help you guys out, or have you guys help us help others. So let's get it done. The one other thing I was going to say about that was shout out to, I don't know if he wants us to say his name, so I won't. But we have a listener who's been listening forever, sent Brian and I a note on Twitter, just saying how great it was to have the show and make him laugh during this weird time, because basically this is what happened. He got COVID a while back, and then since then has been experiencing seizures. Never had this stuff in his life before, and it appears to maybe be connected. Some people get some pretty awful complications post-COVID infections in their lungs, sometimes neurological stuff. Like, it's a bad deal. And he's going through some of that. He knows who he is. I don't want to out him, so I won't say his name. But, dude, we're just thinking about you and hope you're doing okay.
Very cool.
Brian,
also
Coverville today, right?
Yeah, Coverville today, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville. Someone that I've never done an episode of Coverville about, Christina Aguilera. She is turning 40 this week.
Jeez.
And yeah, I know. And so in addition to the stuff that you're predicting, like What a Girl Wants and Genie in a Bottle, there's going to be some stuff in here. And what's really cool is, because it's covers, it's like, oh, it takes it into a darker version for this song, or it goes really weird and a cappella for this one, or it goes, and I guarantee you there is some heavy rock stuff that you're going to like. I'm playing one of the first times I've ever done it on Coverville. I'm playing a song that's actually got some screamo elements to it, which, if you know me, if you're any listener to TMS, you know that I typically don't like that, but it really works for the song I'm going to be playing it in. So
nice.
Check that out, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, twitch.tv/Coverville.
You heard it here first. Brian's into Dutch death metal. Finally.
That's right. Give me all of it that you can muster.
All right, that's later today. In the meantime, if you're looking for anything else from us, frogpants.com/TMS. And, of course, you can follow us on Twitter. We keep talking about that. So here it is, Morning Stream, also Scott Johnson and Coverville. And you can email us, themorningstream@gmail.com. Let's get out of here with a musical sensation from Brian.
Yeah, this is a quickie right here. William from Slidell said,
Slidell, my wife lived by Slidell. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe they know each other. This is really cool. This is from a series that that this guy put out on his YouTube channel all summer long. No, not Billy Joe Armstrong, but similar kind of thing. Rick Astley, who was never going to give you up. He's never going to let you down, and he's never going to stop surprising us with really weird covers like this one. Here is Post Malone's Better Now, covered by Rick Astley.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Whoa! Whoa!
So that boy chat room